A very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
I'm so delighted to have your best friend this morning. And first and foremost, it's my new person, my name, sir.
My name is Ndifreke and Emem.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, you look so unique, so special today, so handsome. And let me hear from you what is happening in your life today, sir.
Today is a very joyful moment. In fact, it's the happiest day of my life on earth.
Thank you very much. Precisely, let me just know what exactly is happening.
The joy in my life is in respect to the marriage ceremony that is taking place between me and my lovely wife.
Thank you very much, sir. Who is this lucky woman that happens to find joy in your hands today, sir?
My beautiful wife is by name Peace Effiong Udo, former Peace Effiong Udo, now about to be my beloved wife by name Peace Ndifreke.
Thank you very much. You seem so excited about choosing her to be your wife, sir. What's so special about her? What do you find her? Well, what is the love that you have found in her, sir?
Is everything in her. I don't want to be specific, just everything in her.
So you're insinuating that if everything becomes new, the whole universe turns new, you still make her to be your wife, sir?
Perfect.
Thank you very much. I pray that the good Lord Almighty, who initiated this institution of marriage, will bless your home bountifully in Jesus' mighty name.
Amen.
Thank you.
Allowed to handle this marriage is the local government by Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Any marriage done outside this place is null and void. They only have leverage because the matter has not gone to court. Any marriage that is conducted outside the local government is null and void because the Constitution gives the local government the power to do so. So ignorantly, some people go here and there they say they bring marriage by act. That's their problem. Once that marriage hits the rocks, then you know the lawyers will tell them where they did the marriage and where they're supposed not to have done. Some people get married in the primary school, they say it's a church. Any marriage conducted outside the registered place of worship is null and void. They only have the leverage now, they are happy because there's no problem. Then nothing has happened. Once there's a problem and the case goes to court, we'll know where you did that marriage. So marriage by law is strictly handled by the local government Council by virtue of the content of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This marriage has its do's and don'ts, and before we join you, we want to state the do's and don'ts of registry marriage, so that we may not be ignorant of them. Ndifreke, the marriage you are going to sign in today, you will not get married to another woman unless this marriage is dissolved. Agree?
Agreed.
Please, the same thing goes for you. And you are expected not to be related by blood. You don't have to have blood relationship. What we mean by blood relationship, you don't have to be a member of the same family, either maternally or paternally. In our own tradition, whether it's Bibio is now, is the same. We know what we call Ayaka, Ineka, Inete. That's the members of the same family. You are not expected to marry the daughter of your uncle or your aunt. The same thing. You are not supposed to marry the daughter or son of your uncle or aunt. That's our extended family. So I hope you are not related by blood.
Yes.
You can go ahead. This marriage you are going to sign in today, the federal government has given me a very big seal, and this is my seal with my name and number on it. This seal number is at the Ministry of External Affairs, Internal Affairs, and the Ministry of Local Government. But they have not given me another seal to divorce, to sign your divorce certificate. And I thank God so much, because the Bible says what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. I wouldn't love to sign any divorce certificate for anybody. The marriage you are going to sign it today, nobody will be able to separate you. Your family head has no say in this matter. Your parents have no say except constructively. What I mean by constructive say is this: if there's a problem in this marriage, you go to your parents. All they need to say is, Ndifreke, go and love your wife. Go and stay together. Go back. They'll just tell you, Ndifreke, kakema wanfu, they just give you a constructive advice on how to move on. Or peace, pack out of your husband's house. That is far from them. They cannot. The law has not given them that power. So when you have, God forbid, but if there is problem in this marriage, don't waste your time to go to customary court, magistrate court. They don't have jurisdiction over this marriage. The paramount ruler, village head, clan head cannot speak on this marriage. The only court that has jurisdiction over this marriage is the High Court of Justice. And so that is the only authority that can speak on this marriage. I am the registrar. I only join. Mama told me, friend, make way. If you have a problem, I can only give you constructive advice on how to live together. And that's all. No other thing. I'm done there. Having told you the authority, the institution that has jurisdiction over this marriage, is pertinent to tell you that there are ways that this marriage could be dissolved. There are thousands and one ways that could lead to the dissolution of this marriage. But I will discuss only 2 ways. The 2 ways you may likely fall victim even after leaving this place. Yes. 1 is this marriage must be consummated. It must. You have to consummate your marriage. In a layman's understanding, what is consummation of marriage? What do we mean by consummation of marriage? Ndifreke. Well, a lot of things happen in marriage. Sometimes our parents shy away from the truth, from the reality. But in registry marriage, we have been given the license to speak and to talk and to give you constructive advice on this. Consummation of marriage means you have to have sex with your wife. You have to consummate your marriage. Please, you have to have sex with your husband. Of course, if you don't have sex with each other, how will you progress? progression means you have to have copulate, come together, and the baby comes out. So you are going there to give your parents fine grandchildren. You are not going there to fight. You make love and not war. If for a period of 6 months to 1 year, 2 years, Ndifreke, you've not slept with your wife, and Peace, you've not slept with your husband, what happens? If the case goes to court, the marriage will be dissolved. As simple as that. Very simple. It's a very serious offense before the law. That you get married, you don't sleep with your wife or your husband. It's very serious. So you have to consummate your marriage. But I want to reach out to my baby girl. Peace. You are so pretty. And I hope you give your husband the peace he deserves. Going there to console him, give him the peace in his family. You're not going there to bring in board of directors. Who are these board of directors? Your girlfriends. Now you are married. Not that you should not have friends, but be careful with them. You don't discuss anything, your matrimony, your problems in the house with girlfriends. You think everyone is happy you've worn this dress, you've gotten married to a very handsome young man. No. You have to be a bit careful. You don't discuss your matter with them. Once you start discussing your matter, like what for instance, women are very funny creatures. They wear all kinds of ashebi. They fix bone straight, Brazilian, lace wig, and this costs so much, 200,000, 300,000, 150. Look at your husband, look at his income face. Has he this money? And perhaps he doesn't have the money. You go and discuss with your friend. You first compare. Hey, my friend's husband gave his wife 400, gave 300. Are they on the same page? You are not going there. You are not on competition, my dear. So don't discuss that. If you want to make your hair and he gives you, oh, Peace, honey, we have 10,000, 20, 30, use that. Whatever he gives you, it's okay. Make that hair very fine. He admires it. You are not going there for competition. Don't be because of, hey, because of uniform. Every day, Shebi, every day, my friend is doing marriage, my friend is doing this, my friend is doing, you compare, you contrast. And because of that, he doesn't have the money to give you. You deprive him of your body. You don't allow him to get close to you. Then you are not in marriage. Do that continuously. When you do it, tomorrow, next week, you continue. You've lost your man. I say you lose him. Sure. Trust all those young people out there. They are looking for him. You start, when he wants to touch you, you say, let me smell from the family. All because he didn't give you the money. All because you couldn't fix a hair that could be done under 10,000 naira 20, and you're looking for 250. If you want to carry 250 week on your head, remember you're going to born children. You need money. You need to start saving. Now that your legs are strong, you save for the tomorrow. Because if you start carrying all that money and wear uniform every day, when children comes, remember school fees there. Now they are not going to primary school there. It's not that primary school they are going in. You need money. So don't carry 250,000 on your head and start walking about. Give him leverage. Because he doesn't have money for you to change uniform every day. You won't make love with him. There's only one ground in the Bible that has been given, that you should not sleep with your husband. And that is on agreement of the two. When you are in spiritual exercise, assuming today you say, okay, we'll be taking fasting. It's an agreement, but two of you have agreed. And you take it between now and 12 or 6 in the evening. And the Bible has warned. You have to do that very briefly, not for a long time. And you come together again so that you might not be tempted. You hear me? So every other excuse is nonsense. You don't deprive your husband of your body. From the crown of your head to the toe of your feet belongs to your husband. You don't have any excuse. If you are sick, he knows you are sick. If you give birth, he knows you've given birth, and he needs some time for the womb to return. That's it. He understands. Any other thing is nonsense. So don't take advice from those board of directors called friends. They are directing marriages. They tell you when to sleep with your husband. They will ration it from no bed. If you want to keep your home, if you want to keep your marriage, that's how you're going to stay. And the same thing goes to you, Ndifreke. you are married to a very beautiful woman. You know, men make mistakes. There are a lot of costly mistakes they make. What do they make? The Bible says every other sin is outside the body. But the sin of fornication and adultery is inside the body because there's exchange of blood. That's where they go and report all these vices. In your family, you do not have armed robbers, you do not have all these evil, all these vices around. You go and sleep with a harlot, strange women, you bring them into your family. And when you bring them up, what do you expect? The Bible says every other sin is outside, but the sin of adultery is inside because there's exchange of blood. You sleep with a harlot, if she has 10 demons, you inherit the 10 demons. And you take the demons, sleep with your wife, yes, transfer the 10 demons to her, and she put to bed a fine baby girl, a fine baby boy. Tomorrow, you've never slapped your father, you've never pointed a finger at your uncle, and someone will come and slap you. Where do you think you are importing them from? Or where do you think that the vice is coming from? It's you brought them to your family.